the Chinese PLA Navy has exploded in size and firepower.
The Type 55 destroyer, a powerful day dreadnought, represents naval modernization.
2 decades of surface warship evolution have produced the ultimate destroyer designed to secure sea command. This video explains Type 55 super destroyer capabilities. The Type 55 destroyer is larger than the Type 52D, but it does not replace it. Type 52D because China builds both classes. Since 2017, 8 Type 55s have been launched and 5 commissioned.
The remaining units should be commissioned by 2022 or early 2023. All indications suggest China wants to build more ships.
In Chinese carrier battle groups, the Type 55 large destroyer will join aircraft carriers. The Type 55 would likely be the battle group's main air defense command and control center. Like U.S. Navy Ticonderoga-class cruisers, the super destroyer can convey instructions and targeting information to smaller warships like the Type 52D destroyer. The Type 55 may lead U.S. surface action groups without aircraft carriers. The official Chinese military strategy emphasizes using large destroyers and smaller naval warships to defend its interests in the far seas.
Recent Chinese sources explicitly link Type 55 to Belt and Road Initiative security. Finally, in an era of great power competition, large warships will carry the flag worldwide. The Type 55 super destroyer imports send a strong message to allies and foes. The full Type 55 displacement is about 13,000 tons, nearly double that of the Type 52D. Chinese naval doctrine has gradually decided that large warships are best. This also shows that China is confident in its air defense technologies to protect capital ships. The Type 55 can reach 32 knots with 4 QC-280 gas turbines. The engine's power output is 20% above the operational requirement, and the operational range is 9,300 kilometers. This suggests future ship upgrades as new weapon systems become available. The warship's 300-person complement is low for a large warship, indicating high automation. The Type 55 is stealthy against many sensors, not just radars. The superstructure is compact and the hull is smooth. Deck-mounted weapons like the 130mm are rare. All radars have a stealthy, angular exterior and are located inside an integrated mast at the ship's center, minimizing radar cross-section. The back of the mast houses long-range radar antennas, limiting electromagnetic radiation. The superstructure completely encloses the 4 engine ventilation funnels and infrared suppression devices. Engine noise is also lower than previous Chinese gas turbines, making it harder to detect by passive sonars, so the Type 55 destroyer has stealth capabilities against radar, passive sonar, electromagnetic sensors, and infrared sensors. The Type 55 can perform many missions, but it is designed for air defense at all ranges. The ship's 112-cell vertical launch system, VRS, is large. The front has 64 VRS cells and the back 48. Most of the 112BLs carry the 300-kilometer range HHQ-9B long-range surface-to-air missile, the standard on Chinese destroyers. Its Mach 4 speed and semi-active radar homing guidance allow it to intercept supersonic targets. At the 2021 Duhai Air Show, the PLA Navy demonstrated missile quad packing. This increases firepower by putting 4 SAMs in a VLS cell. Quad-pack medium-range surface-to-air missiles may be on the Type 55 destroyer. This will give the destroyer more firepower to intercept horizon-crossing threats. The Type 55 destroyer can track hundreds of enemy aircraft and cruise missiles and guide air defense missiles. The Type 346B span active electronically scanned array is the latest Chinese radar in NATO's Dragon Eye family. Each inter-cardinal direction has 4 radar array panels on the superstructure. Type 346B radar panel arrays are 40% larger than Type 346A radar arrays on Type 52D destroyers. This implies that the Type 346B radar is more powerful due to the Type 55 destroyer's powerful engine. U.S. military analysts estimate the Type 346B's instrumental range at over 600 kilometers. The detection range depends on target altitude and size. The radar may track 5th-generation stealth fighters due to its strong anti-stealth capability. According to Chinese sources, the Type 346B may track low-orbiting satellites. The Type 55 can send enemy satellite coordinates to land-based rocket forces for anti-satellite missiles. Low-orbit spy satellites can monitor large battlefields and provide rich intelligence. Destroying enemy satellites in a modern war can eliminate a key part of the enemy's intelligence infrastructure, giving one an advantage. The Type 55 has a second X-band search radar on the mast. This radar may intercept low-flying sea-skimming missiles because it is better at tracking short-range targets. The VLS carries the YJ-18 Eagle Strike cruise missile, the main anti-ship weapon. YJ-18 numbers can be adjusted based on mission needs. As it approaches the target, the YJ-18 accelerates to supersonic speed and changes its radar signature to reduce the enemy's reaction time and interception probability. This sea-skimming missile is hard to detect until it's close to the target. The YJ-18 has over 500 ranges. Type 55 destroyers can also fire anti-ship ballistic missiles. Hypersonic ballistic missiles are faster than cruise missiles, especially at the terminal phase, making them hard to intercept. The VRS cells on the Type 55 are significantly larger than those on US or NATO destroyers. It's large enough for some tactical ballistic missiles from China. Despite not being confirmed, the US Navy and Chinese experts believe the Type 55 can launch ballistic missiles against surface targets for sure bombardment. Since the 1990 Persian Gulf War, Chinese strategists have believed destroyers can attack land. Type 55 may be chosen. The ship's two helicopters, which are stored in two hangars aft, are its main anti-submarine weapon for counter-battery fire against land-based missile systems to allow Chinese naval forces to enter the Pacific Ocean safely in the event of a conflict. They would be the new Z-20 naval helicopter or the larger Z-18F if the hangar can accommodate them. Both helicopters can hunt suburban areas and fly long distances. They have advanced sonar and sono buoys and torpedoes. The Type 55's total ray and variable depth sonars allow for a wide detection range of enemy submarines. The destroyer has U-8 anti-submarine missiles that can engage submarines safely. There are 6 light torpedoes for enemy submarines within short range. The destroyer is a high-value target for southern enemy submarines, so anti-submarine warfare should use long-range weapons like helicopters and avoid submarine torpedoes. Due to its size and unused engine power, the Type 55 destroyer has great potential for upgrades. There are reports of advanced weapons being developed for the future. Western observers believe China is developing an electromagnetic railgun that could fire hypersonic projectiles at surface targets at long ranges. Some say the PLA Navy could have this technology by 2025. The Type 55 is also being upgraded with high-energy lasers and anti-ballistic missile interceptors, which the PLA Navy seems to lack in its surface combatants. The only Type 55 with electrical generators can power these advanced weapons. The Type 55 super destroyer's introduction defines the Chinese Navy. A warship that many say is the result of 20 years of naval modernization. The Type 55, one of the West's most powerful, intensifies the naval arms race. Large Chinese warship fleets will become more common on the world's oceans. If you're interested in Chinese destroyer evolution, learn about the Type 52C destroyer. China has produced its first truly capable air defense destroyer in large numbers. Thanks for watching.